It was the last one. Yesterday, I had taken down every arch-tempered 10-star quest in Monster Hunter Wilds. But one 10-star quest was still there. Gogmazios. My friends and I had fought it before. We had failed it before. And unlike the 9-star version, this one did not feel like something we could simply overpower. It hit harder. It moved faster. Mistakes that we could survive before suddenly mattered. We have a hunter rank 999 in our group named Toss. He has played almost every Monster Hunter generation except the first. He had already cleared 10-star Gogmazios once. His advice was simple: don't bother. Everything you can get from 10-star Gogmazios can also be obtained from 9-star Gogmazios. He was right. There was no armor piece waiting for us that we could not get somewhere easier. No weapon. No material that justified putting ourselves through it. Toss even joined one of our early attempts just so we could experience what the 10-star hunt was like. After that, he had no interest in doing it again. I understood him, but understanding him did not make me want to leave the quest alone. We are monster hunters. Sometimes that is reason enough. Whenever our schedules allowed it after work, we kept hunting Gogmazios. Most of the time, we hunted the 9-star version, not only to farm it, to watch it, to learn it. We did it so many times that we started recognizing the NPC dialogue at different points of the hunt. One day, Tony asked something. How will you know that you power checked it? I answered immediately. Then I will say, mimicking Nadia's voice. We got its power in check. Everyone laughed. Then there was silence. Because Tony had actually asked a good question. How would we know? I did what any responsible Lance user would do. Get behind me. Everyone laughed again. This is what hunting with my friends is like. We are men in our 40s. We have jobs. We have responsibilities. But put us together in Monster Hunter, and somehow we become children again. We laugh when we succeed. We laugh when we fail. And sometimes we laugh hardest when everything goes wrong. Tony is one of our newer hunters. He has played Monster Hunter since the 3rd generation, tried Freedom Unite, played 4th generation and Rise, a little of World, and now Wilds. He also karts. A lot. Tony hates karting. When it happens, everyone in Discord knows about it. There will be cursing. We are not making fun of him. We simply enjoy hunting with Tony. Because Tony also sees things. He understands the terrain. He understands wounds. He notices openings. And while we were fighting Gogmazios, Tony kept saying something I would remember. Hit it with the lava. There are 3 lava vents in Stage 1. Special stones around the arena can trigger them. Each vent can strike Gogmazios several times. There is also debris above the arena that can be dropped onto it. I had fought Gogmazios before. I knew those things existed. But watching Tony use the terrain made me begin looking at the hunt differently. What if our weapons were not the only weapons? So we started experimenting. Lure Gogmazios to a lava vent. Trigger it. Try to make every hit connect. Then move it to the next. Then the next. Drop the debris. Again. 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 Eventually, we tested the sequence against 9-star Gogmazios. 3 lava vents. For hits from each if everything went correctly. Roughly 2,050 damage per hit. Then the falling debris. Around 4,100. Gogmazios moved to Stage 2 without us needing much weapon damage at all. We had taken one enormous problem. How are we going to deal enough damage to 10-star Gogmazios? And found one small answer. Stage 1 was no longer something we were worried about. Stage 1 was something we knew how to do. Then came Stage 2. There were 3 giant explosive rocks we could roll into Gogmazios. Use them. There was another piece of debris above the arena. But we learned not to trigger it simply because Gogmazios was nearby. Wait until all 4 limbs were on the platform. Then pull it. Around 4,100 damage onto its back. Then lure it toward the Dragonator-like mechanism. Around 8,200. And eventually, the Elder Breaker. We all agreed on one thing. Once we dislodged it and Gogmazios fell, do not attack the monster. Run for the cables. Every second of that knockdown mattered. Everyone grabs one. Everyone connects one. Get the Elder Breaker charged as quickly as possible. Simple. Except somehow, in almost every Gogmazios hunt, I got the cable closest to the Elder Breaker. It did not matter which side it landed. I got the nearest cable. Jello got the farthest. Every time. Jello is an old hunting friend of mine. He is the kind of hunter who picks up a hammer and apparently sees no reason why Monster Hunter should contain any other weapon. And for reasons I still cannot explain, Gogmazios seemed determined to make his cable-running career miserable. Gogmazios also likes targeting the hunter connecting a cable. So I would already be standing beside mine, while somewhere in the distance Jello was still running, usually with Gogmazios preparing to cover him in lava. One hunt, Jello finally connected the last cable, then immediately fired the Elder Breaker. We had not finished charging it. About 43,000 damage. There was a moment of realization, then laughter. We had just thrown away roughly another 20,000 damage. So now we had to stay in stage 2 longer and make it up with our weapons. We kept attacking while Jello complained about always getting the farthest cable. Another time, we were waiting for the Elder Breaker to finish charging. I saw an opportunity for my Lance Revenge attack. I took it. What I did not see was the lava beside me that had not exploded yet. Carded. When I returned to the arena, I looked toward the Elder Breaker. The farthest cable was still not connected. Jello had an explanation. Nadia disconnected it. Of course. Nadia. They eventually asked me, how do you always get the closest cable? Get the trot-along cactus. The truth was much simpler. I watched the Elder Breaker when it was dislodged. Wherever it flew, I followed it. But we practiced the cable sequence anyway. At one point, we had Jello connect every cable himself and fire the Elder Breaker. If the hunt was going to keep giving him the farthest cable, then by the time we attempted 10-star again, there would be no cable in that arena. Jello did not know. Stage 2 became another problem we understood. Stage 1 was no longer impossible. Stage 2 was no longer impossible. Then came Stage 3. And Stage 3 was where Gogmazios reminded us that understanding most of a problem is not the same as solving it. During one of our 10-star attempts, we actually managed to power check Gogmazios. We were proud. More importantly, we became confident. We really could do this. We could fight 10-star Gogmazios ourselves. But that success also taught us something uncomfortable. We could power check it. We could not guarantee that we would. And if our entire strategy depended on something we could not reliably reproduce, then we did not really have a strategy yet. I had seen this kind of problem before. Not with Gogmazios. With Gene died. Its supernova used to catch me. Again and again. During one hunt, I tried something. Farcaster. It worked. Eventually, I cleared Gene Dahad alone with that knowledge. I had tried something similar during Omega's Nerscylla stage. It could work there too, but Omega returned heavily buffed afterward. So I learned another lesson. Something working does not automatically make it useful. Then, during one of our 9-star Gogmazios hunts, I saw the opportunity again. Gogmazios began moving toward the position where it would cover the arena in lava before taking flight. I used a Farcaster. It worked. I showed Jello and MP. They asked how I knew when to use it. I explained what I was watching. They weren't convinced. Not because they thought it didn't work. Because they weren't confident they could time it. And they were right. Maybe I could learn to recognize the animation consistently. But I could not be alone in this hunt. If our survival depended on the Farcaster, everyone needed a way to know when. So we stopped guessing and started researching. MP found the first piece. We needed Nadia. Without Nadia in the party, We would not receive the warning telling us that we had failed to keep Gogmazios' power in check. That warning could be our signal. Tony had helped us understand the arena, but our party only had 4 slots. For the strategy we were building, one of them now belonged to Nadia. Then Jello found the second piece. After Nadia's warning, we had roughly 1 minute before Gogmazios performed the attack we were trying to escape. 1 minute. We did not want 1 minute. We wanted room for error. So we chose 50 seconds. Nadia warns us. Jello starts the timer. We continue fighting. 50 seconds. Farcaster. We no longer needed to guess the animation. And we no longer needed to guarantee the power check. If we got it, good. If we didn't, we already knew what to do. There was still the known chimney mechanic in stage 3. Make sure it hits Gogmazios. But another problem was becoming obvious. Staying alive. Jello suggested that MP switch to a healer build during stage 3. And that made me laugh a little, because I remembered when MP was still learning wilds. Back then, I was his healer, except I was using a lance. I used to stand in front of the monster with my lance, tanking attacks while watching everybody else's health. One day MP asked, "How many dust of life did you bring?" 2. He looked confused. "Then how are you able to heal us continuously?" "Mega potion." He laughed. "Seriously? How?" "Friendship and quick eating." MP started wilds using long sword. He experimented with heavy bow gun. Eventually, he moved to sword and shield. He told me he liked it. He was faster. He could do more. And, importantly to him, he could support. Later, he asked me another question. Joms, another newer hunter in our group, uses gunlance. He is almost like an apprentice to Toss, who is extremely good with that weapon. During our preparation for Savage Omega, I overheard Joms talking to MP about Toss. Toss does it really good. He can block anything. He can perfect block all the time. He had even seen Toss perfect block Omega Planetus laser. Eventually MP came to me. "How do you perfect block? How do you time it?" Maybe he asked because he had watched me use lance and great sword. With those weapons, I don't hide behind Fabius. I stand in front. I block. I power clash. My answer surprised him. "You don't have to perfect block." I explain guard and guard up. I don't even know how often I perfect block. I just know what my build allows me to block. Then, while we were preparing for Gogmazios, MP had another problem. Fire blight. He was at his computer trying to figure out how to reach plus 20 fire resistance. His Lord Soul setup was losing value because every time Gogmazios inflicted fire blight, he had to stop what he was doing and roll to remove it. Then he noticed something. I wasn't rolling. "How much is your fire resistance?" I checked. -8. He looked at me. "What?" He was trying to reach positive 20. I was standing there at -8. "How come I don't see you rolling to remove the burn?" "Blight resistance." "What decoration is that?" "None." He laughed. "Seriously?" "Arcveld gamma chest and legs. Blight resistance." And because those 2 pieces also gave convert element, they could complement the elemental direction he was taking with sword and shield. MP did not need to solve his problem the same way he had originally imagined. And by the time we reached 10-star Gogmazios again, the hunter I used to heal with mega potions was preparing to become our healer. But that did not mean keeping everyone alive became MP's responsibility alone. Jello and I brought Dust of Life. We brought the materials to craft more. If somebody needed healing and could not heal themselves, call it. Whoever could help, helped. The strategy was finally taking shape. Not in one conversation, not in one hunt. Over several days. Observation, research, old experiences, new builds, failed experiments, Tony's terrain knowledge, MP's research, Jello's research, something Jean Dahad had taught me, things we had learned from one another long before Gogmazios. We finally thought we were ready. We entered 10-star Gogmazios. and failed. Jello forgot the timer. We had all become so focused on fighting that even the hunter specifically assigned to watch the time missed Nadia's warning. Our strategy had worked on paper. Then the actual hunt found the weakness. We could have blamed Jello. We didn't. Instead, we changed the system. On the next attempt, everyone listens for Nadia. The moment anybody hears the power check warning, say it. That reminds Jello. Jello starts the timer. Everyone else keeps fighting. 50 seconds. Farcaster. MP remains the primary healer in stage 3. But Jello and I remain ready with Dust of Life. No one person carries the whole strategy. Then we went back. Stage 1. The lava. Stage 2. The rocks. The debris. The Dragonator. The Elder Breaker. The cables. Stage 3. The chimney. Nadia. The call-out. Jello. The timer. MP. The healing. 50 seconds. Farcaster. Return. Fight. Again. And after days of failing, observing, researching, arguing, experimenting, laughing, changing builds, practicing cables, and at least once blaming Nadia for something she almost certainly did not do. Quest cleared. 10-star Gogmazios was down. There was just one thing. We had not gotten a single power check. Not one. The thing we once thought we might need to defeat Gogmazios had never happened. And somehow, we had one anyway. But there was still a question. Maybe we got lucky. So we hunted it again. Same strategy. Another clear. Still no power check. That was when something changed for me. The first clear proved that 10-star Gogmazios could be beaten. The second clear proved that we knew how to beat it. For days, Gogmazios had looked impossible, but we never actually found one answer to the impossible. We found small answers. Tony showed me the lava. I remembered the Farcaster. MP found Nadia. Jello found the timing. MP became the healer. Everyone became Jello's reminder. Everyone became MP's backup. Every failure showed us another problem. And every problem became something we could work on. No one hunter had the answer. No one build had the answer. No one discovery had the answer. And apparently, not even one power check was necessary. We built the answer, piece by piece, hunter by hunter, failure by failure. Maybe impossible dreams are like that. When we only look at the whole thing, they can seem too large to even begin. So we wait. We think. We tell ourselves that perhaps someday, when we are stronger, smarter, better prepared, or finally ready, we will try. But perhaps the impossible does not need to become possible before we begin. Perhaps we begin, and that is how we discover what is actually possible. The first step does not make the road easy. It only gives us the first real problem to solve. Then another appears. Solve that one. Ask someone who knows something you don't. Listen when Tony tells you to hit it with the lava. Let Jello research the timing. Let MP discover what you missed. Let someone heal you when you cannot heal yourself. And when the plan fails, find out why. Change it. Try again. 10-star Gogmazios never became easy. We simply stopped needing it to be. It became doable. And sometimes, maybe that is all an impossible dream needs to become. Not easy. Not perfect. Not guaranteed. Just doable. Then take the quest. And if you fail, laugh, learn, and hunt again.
Uy, tangay na, nabigyan din. Nabigyan din ng legit.
Thank you, thank you.
Dito chamba tong Gogmazios.
Makakatulog na tayo.
Sabihan si Tos. Tos, the best mo natalo to, Tos. Gusto mo, dalaway
O,
natin.
hintay lang. Hintay pa natin eh.
Pasalamatan niyo si Nadia, uy. Siya yung lagi nagpapaiwan, nagpa-power check.
Salamat ka sa timer, tangay.
Salamat kayo sa ilog. Ilan, di ba?
Salamat sa heal,
Wala
pre.
Kayang kaya.
Sa timer. Good.
Kayang kaya.
Nice, nice. Di ba?
Hindi nabigyan